to the DINER podcast, a podcast where we talk about all kinds of artistic experiences. Isn't that right?
That's definitely right. We're sorry if we're a bit lame today because we're experiencing another heat wave, I think. We're trying to stay still in the range of our minds. I don't know how to say it even.
Ooh, my brain is melting.
Oh yeah.
Working is awful. Summertime also probably reminds me of vacations. Summertime also reminds me of all those students who are probably trying to perfect their portfolios to
Yes.
maybe submit to universities or maybe a future job.
Oh yeah.
I guess you guys can guess the theme.
I think it's written in the description. Not the description, but the title of the video.
Surprise, surprise. We're going to talk about what?
Portfolios.
Portfolios. Woo! Yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. Everyone who I talk to about portfolios are they suddenly become tense all of a sudden,
Really?
You're talking about fun stuff. I tried this program or class the other day and I'm like, oh cool, this new game came out. So what about your portfolio? And they're like, damn it. And everyone seems to agree on one thing, that their portfolios are outdated, they should be updated, but they don't have any new work to put in. So everyone's I guess it is kind of like a struggling topic for some people.
It is. I think it's a very sensitive topic because portfolios are, it's like a face of your work. It's like the best of the best that you have, and suddenly you're facing that reality. Social media, you can put sketches, you can put stories, whatever, and the silly portfolio, it's like, that's it. This is the thing that is gonna either give me that job or not. So
showcases your highest abilities, and when you put all of your work in there, you suddenly feel like you thought of yourself better than it actually is,
Yeah, exactly. Another thing is that there are two types of people, I think. There are people who are actively creating their portfolios, and there are people who maybe are already in the industry, and maybe they kind of want to switch jobs. And I think these are the people with the stale portfolios, as you were saying.
It's like you have this job right now, so you're kind of settled, but you kind of want something more. So it's really hard to push yourself to get something better. Yeah, I do agree. People who are actively searching for a job or who don't currently have anything, and the time is sort of pushing them, especially the people who are living on their own. So the rent is coming in soon and you still don't have a job.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of pushes you to make something better.
There's this pressure of the first job, I feel like. For me, at least, in my experience, when I came out of uni, some people who are very I hate the word talented, I'll say some people who are very focused and who knew what they wanted to do from the very, very beginning, they got jobs on the spot, right out of uni. These people, throughout all the course, our course was very broad. You could do modeling, you could do rigging, you could do animation, you can do pre-production, etc., or programming or maths, whatever. And there were people who were trying to succeed at everything. These people struggled the most. And the people who already knew what they wanted to do, for example, they're modelers, their grades for programming were not great, but they were specialized and they could get a job on the spot.
Right.
So, but coming back to portfolios, when you finish uni or you're about to finish uni, suddenly some people have jobs. Suddenly you're like, oh shit, I need a job. I really do. And you become stressed out about it. How suddenly you have this thing that you have to succeed right away.
Right.
This feeling of I gotta do it. So this is where your portfolio building is the most active, is the most stressful. But when you already have a job, this is a point where you're like, maybe I need to do this portfolio, but it's not a necessity for me. because I have this cushy job. Maybe I don't like it, but it's
That's
not
right.
such a big push as like this first
It's hard to
job.
push yourself. Some universities actually have the courses specifically tailored for you to have a portfolio by the end of your course. But so far that I know from bigger companies is that they actually really don't like the applications with the works in the portfolio that are so clearly from the uni, you know?
Mhm.
They want to see how the person creates something from their own brief, you know, something that was not like, I don't know.
Almost mechanical, basically, but
Right.
by the book. There's some kind of a scenario, and then as a big company, I'm sure like something like Riot Games is getting thousands and thousands of portfolios.
That have
they
the
all
same
look the
tasks
same.
in
Yeah.
right, yeah. Especially like Riot, because
Yeah.
Pasadena Art Center is like there.
So an overall thing that I guess we can start developing and unwrapping this whole topic. This is a big topic, right?
It is.
Starting from probably why do you need a portfolio in the first place, I guess.
Right, I guess we can start from the complete basics.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, why would you need a portfolio? Well,
why would I need a portfolio?
It's a really simple answer to get you a job. So you cannot just come to a person, to the employer and say, I'm good at art. They kind of need proof. And we're visual artists, so you do need to show something visual.
Biggest point is, if you're a visual artist, forget about your CV, forget about your beautiful motivation letter, portfolio. This is it. This is
no
the
one
one.
really reads the other ones. You just gotta show them the visual facts.
Yeah, I'll get into we'll get into at the end. At the end, we'll talk about the application and stuff. But portfolio is your face, basically.
It's basically what you create wrapped in a like tiny little package. But it is for employers, you know. You have to show off the best of the best stuff that you have. And basically, how many people approach it at the very start, where they like sit down and they're like, okay, I need a job or a better job, and I need to build a portfolio. So the meaning behind the whole thing of building a portfolio is to take your works that you've done previously, select the very, very best ones, and put them in your website, which becomes your portfolio. Mm-hmm. Not to just sit down and be like, okay, I will start, making my portfolio now. And you start a piece and with the idea that this is going to be my portfolio piece. And then you never finish it, or it doesn't turn out as you planned it would be.
But, I will disagree. I think you can start a portfolio. I think you can draw artwork thinking about this as a portfolio piece because, for example, if you know where you want to apply, like before you make a portfolio, you have to understand as much as possible, first thing, what you want to do, like what kind of art you want to create. What interests you, basically? What is the thing that you love the most? And then, if you're lucky, and if you know, what company do you want to apply to? Knowing these things, you can say, for example, yeah, I already drew these creatures, these whatever dinosaurs, and I really want to work on Riot Games.
As a what?
As a character artist, for example.
No, character artist, you mean 3D? Or?
Let's talk 2D. I'll be talking 2D because I'm a 2D artist.
So
you are a 2D artist.
You mean
concept artist.
Okay, concept. Okay.
Let's say I want to be a concept artist at Riot Games, and I have my dinosaurs, and I love drawing dinosaurs. And you're like, first of all, do Riot Games really want a dinosaur artist?
But I don't think that's what matters, whether they need a dinosaur. You don't know what projects they're working on currently. So what I meant by older works is no one really starts off fresh. Like you started working.
No, that's true. But what I want to say is that you can use your old works. That's fine. But
and you should, because in your older works, like you said, all of your things that you like and wanted to keep on doing, they reflect in your older works. So if you're switching completely,
not switching completely. I'm not talking about switching completely. I'm talking about you can sort of polish your work towards the kind of job that you want to get, basically. If you know that a certain company, if you want to be a character artist, for example, and your portfolio has characters, but they're not maybe the quality that you could get.
Oh, definitely. So you have to have a portfolio to do what you were saying. What I'm saying is you sit down and you're like, I need a portfolio.
Yeah.
So you should reflect back on the works that you did. Think about which type of, expertise field you want to get into, and then grab all of your works from that area and put them in. And then you see whether you should push towards something and, I don't know, bend it towards one of the companies that you want.
Okay, I get it. I probably misunderstood your first point. First, you work with what you have. It's a very, very good point. Don't jump sky high into like, okay, I need this, and that. No, first look at what you have.
Yeah, because you get overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? For example, you want to work in a specific, and knowing what you do in anything in life. This is the first point that you gotta do. Like,
but then again, it's such a hard question to ask yourself. What do I want to do in my life when I'm like, I don't even know which cereal to buy? And then you have to like think about what you want to do in life.
But the beautiful thing of it is trying. The less you think about it, the more you try things out. This is your key to success, of trying and failing, and it also implies of submitting your work and stuff. So as Iveta said about building stuff of what you have, beautiful point, because you can start sending whatever you have, like portfolio. Like, what do you think about this point? A portfolio is always good enough.
Okay. I think I agree with it, but it's something that you should remind yourself. Mm-hmm. It's not something that anyone thinks of.
I mean, it may not be, again, good enough for Riot Games, but you have what you have, submit it. You may not get the job of your dreams in the beginning, but you'll get something.
The key is to get up and then fix all of that. That's right.
I want to tell a story about this guy who sent me his portfolio, and his art was not great at the time. And I told him straight away, like, if you would submit to my company right now, like, I would reject you just straight away. But I told him that don't mind me, submit your work other companies, because I know that other companies have different standards. Yeah. They have different requirements, and this is the thing that you need to remember, that
different wages.
Yeah, but like, that's the thing. Maybe Riot won't take you in right now, but somebody else will, and you're already getting your experience in. And guess what? After a year, or maybe half a year even, this guy kind of comes back and he says, hey, I got a job. I got a job at an indie game company and stuff. He starts submitting his portfolio. Maybe he improved it. I don't know. But he did. He didn't get scared of the way his art was at that moment, and he got a job somewhere locally, and that's amazing. I just wanted to quickly tell a story about people who are perfectionists, and how it is important to have a deadline for your portfolio. Because let's say that you've collected everything you have, you've decided that I need to improve, like to get into Riot Games or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why you're picking Riot Games.
I don't know as well.
Rita doesn't even watch
I don't, but just as an example, okay?
They're a big company.
And Iveta is like, you know what? My portfolio, I need to improve. And she starts improving, and then she's like, it's not good enough. And then
it's never good enough.
Set a deadline. I have horror stories of people for years after I finished uni who still don't have an art job in the industry because they kept on pushing their portfolio to be better and better, and they never submitted. They only had a few companies in mind that they wanted to submit to. They didn't try the smaller companies.
But that's already half of the work done. When you know which companies you want to work for, right? Yeah, that's half of the work done.
But it's bad if you only aim at them. Like,
Is it though?
how long will it take for you to get to that level? If you could, for example, submit the portfolio to a lot more companies, for example.
That's true. If you don't get in, maybe by the like second or third time, you would should try something lower.
Yes, but this is your start. You're already gaining experience. You're fresh
Right, you
out
need
of uni.
experience.
You need
Yes.
experience. You have no idea what it means to work in a team. Even in uni setting, as we worked as a team. It's totally different than when working in a company setting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So your portfolio is good enough means that it doesn't mean that it's perfect. And there are people who, after years, think that their initial portfolio is perfect, and these people are delusional.
That's true. Yeah, I 100% agree. But I would like to specify when you were saying that you need to set a deadline. I think you should set a deadline for submission.
Yeah.
Not as in by this time it will be perfect,
Life is made
it will be good enough by this time for me to send.
Life is made of iterations. I want to specify this thing. You have a deadline of 6 months. It doesn't matter if you reached your goal. It doesn't matter if you finished all your characters that you wanted to do for Riot Games, Iveta. I don't know why I'm targeting you.
I'm not even applying.
6 months pass, you apply with what you have, right? Yeah. Even if you're like itching to fix that stuff.
So you're basically faking, I think this is like the mindset of you faking the initial, like the rent is coming, I need money, I need this job, or I will die, or I will starve, or I will have to like move back to my parents' place. Yes. You're faking this type of like conditions, I think.
You do. You first of all, you realize that it'll never be perfect. You realize that you need to find a job. You send in as you have, and you get if you don't get a job at that favorite place of yours, if you don't get a job anywhere else, work for another 6 months. Submit again. It's okay to submit multiple times to the same company in a period of time. Don't bother them every week.
Right.
It's okay to submit again if you really want to get into they will notice that this gal really wants to get into our company, and she keeps improving her portfolio.
I heard from the companies, they were saying, I don't remember where, maybe like in some interview or somewhere, but one of the AAAs were saying, when someone submits their work and they're not good enough, we expect them to have really improved by the second submission. So it means that they keep a database in their emails system or whatever. They have your previous portfolio and they kind of remember you. Maybe not like specifically remember you, but if they like see you jump, like improve and they said a period of 3 to 6 months. Yeah. So if you don't like improve in that time and send them another portfolio, a better one, they will remember that as well. So it's like really tricky. When you're set on a company, you should probably like try.
Yeah, exactly. And you will improve and you will get there eventually. If you're really set on a company, really like obsessively, you will get there.
Oh, you will.
Maybe after a year, maybe after 2 or 3 years. But you will get there.
There was this guy who works right now at Blizzard, and his dream job was Blizzard, and he has like a YouTube video with an interview with him.
Yeah.
I actually forgot his name. I just remember he was bald. That's not relevant.
No. There's only one bald guy.
I do know his name. He's really famous and he's a great artist, but I just can't remember it right now. And the video was of his mom coming to the office, and in his office, because he's like an art lead, I think right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but he has like his own office space, and he has this framed image of his drawing when he was like in his teens. He drew himself working in Blizzard and having his office, so he drew his office there as he thought it would be,
Oh, that's so sweet.
And he has it framed in his current Blizzard office, so I think that's really, really cute.
No, that's brilliant. If you want something and you work on it, you're gonna get it. This is powerful shit, because you may wish for something you don't really want and you don't know it. That's why it's important to try companies out. Like me, maybe you wanted to go to what is it, Blizzard? Yeah, I wanted to work at Blizzard as well.
Why the sad tone?
Because it's just my mindset completely changed only because I worked in a few completely unrelated companies to Blizzard that do completely different things.
Right.
But they've changed my mindset, they changed my goals.
I think even if you like got out of uni, got straight into like Blizzard, Riot, Ubisoft, whatever, you kind of would change your mind, like the idea that you had in your mind, how it would be working there.
Yeah.
It shifts, even though
You have
if
no
the
idea.
company is not like bad or anything,
Yeah.
it will shift because you don't know what you will be doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't
What kind of work you would get.
Yeah, you have
what's
no
the
idea how it
environment.
feels like until you're there. You can have
Right.
this fantasy lifestyle of like, oh, it's gonna be so fun, and suddenly you realize that the reality is different. Yeah, completely.
So coming back to the tips of the portfolio, I
Yeah.
think the key, when you already have your portfolio, the key thing is to keep it updated. So you should like come back to it frequently, as in like every few months. I think you can come back to it and put in some newer work, which is like better.
Yeah.
Replace the old work, because you're constantly improving. Even if you're not working on it deliberately, you're still improving. So I think you should still do that.
Also, when you submit your portfolios for the very first times and stuff, like as you do this iteration submitting, ask people for feedback. Sometimes they won't give you feedback. Like I'm terrible at this. I forget to give feedback. Some people asked me for feedback when they were submitting portfolios to our company, and they'll be like, oh, we would say no. We had this generic message that we sort of created. Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think you should ask the place you're submitting to for feedback. If they will write you the feedback, it's crazy. It's super rare. If they will write you a letter that says no, it's also pretty fucking rare that they will decline you in a letter. Yeah. Usually they don't reply because they get so many submissions.
But try. Always try. It doesn't cost you anything to say, hey, why not? Can you give me some feedback?
For me, I think it's a bit annoying when they do that. I think it's better to like ask the artist that you look up to, or who's a good person, like ask him directly, like on Facebook, and that won't hurt you. But I think when you're submitting your portfolio, you don't want to seem like you're there just like to try it out.
No, but that's the thing. I agree when you say that you need to ask your idols. There's a chance that your favorite artist is definitely gonna give you feedback. But I still think that you can also ask feedback to the company, because it also adds to the point of like, I want to get it to your company. I want to understand what was wrong and what I can improve to maybe get into your company, And for me, if I get this email, I'll be like, okay, I'll either reply or I'll just don't reply anything. And there were instances when I was like, I'm busy, sorry, and I don't even write anything. I'll be like, that's it. We send the rejection email, and that's it, But the fact that they've asked, it doesn't annoy me. It didn't annoy me personally.
I think in the companies that get so many, like a few hundred, maybe a few thousand emails a day, and if you think that there's like another person who's reviewing them, like a specifically hired person to review the portfolios, it's not. It's just the same, usually like an art lead or art director who has to go through all of that, including doing his like daily job, everything that he has to do in a day, plus like the portfolio reviews.
So probably maybe we can come to this maybe agreement. What if you're submitting to a smaller company, like an indie company,
you can try that.
You can try and ask for feedback, and in the bigger company,
I don't think it would be rude to ask an indie company, because they do get many like submissions, but I don't think it would irritate the art director.
Yeah, but I'm still like, try, even if you irritate them, they will forget it.
I know some art directors who have really good memory. I heard some horror stories from people in my industry who were saying that if you say something to that person, he will remember it. So yeah.
But it's not something rude. Okay,
You would think that, but there are people who are really sensitive.
Oh,
So
I don't want.
sure.
I don't want to work with that art director then.
No,
like,
but it's
no.
AAA, so.
Still, don't bother. Don't waste your life on these kind of art directors.
That's true. That's true.
It's another topic for a different podcast. But some art directors.
To say about art directors.
Oh yeah. I still have my portfolio on ArtStation the way that it was back in 2017.
Oh. I'm guilty of that as well.
Nothing has changed. And again, it's fine. When you have that stable job, you get into the job, you don't think about it anymore, And
or you do, but you're like, man, I need to do this, and you never do.
Yeah. Even if I do have new art. I posted on Instagram, on Twitter. It's just that it never comes to ArtStation because for me, for some reason, ArtStation is this business side, is this portfolio side.
Yeah, and you kind of feel like you should post something more than sketches there.
Yeah.
I just feel like that, but so many people do it now with the sketches.
Yeah.
I guess it's how you use ArtStation, because there's a lot of people who upload every day on ArtStation and they use it as like an actual like Instagram page.
So if you're curious to see how I got my current job, you can go to ArtStation, look at how my portfolio looks, and realize that my art that I drew there is completely different from what I'm drawing for my work right now. Because in my portfolio, I have fully rendered. I was getting my portfolio ready for the AAA company, and you will see it. There's a lot of rendered portraits. They're like rendered. I had this whole character design idea, like of characters that are in one theme, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I saw those. I thought it was really out of your current style at the time, but I like them.
No, I was really I was getting into, for those AAA, whatever, Blizzard-y companies. Okay. I was really into that. But suddenly I got...
Did you ever send anything to them?
I've sent to Autumn Hawk.
Okay.
It's a UK-based concept art. It's similar to what you work in right now. They sort of outsourcing.
Yeah. I have some friends working in there, but their Canadian office, the Vancouver one.
So the thing that I remember I did send to Riot. I did send to Riot.
Oh,
I did send
to
Blizzard.
You had the balls, dude.
I sent everywhere.
Oh my god.
I sent everywhere.
It's so hard for me. I think it would be so hard for me to send my portfolio to them.
I quit my first game studio job because I was listening to podcasts like this where people are saying a lot of encouraging things, and I realized that I wasn't happy with my job, and I was like, I could improve. If my current portfolio got me this shitty job, then I really need to just take some time off and work on my portfolio and make it great and get a better job. I had the absolute luxury of living with my parents and still being in Vilnius, sort of a bit out of Vilnius. So I lived with my parents, didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to buy food, and did some commissions on the side. And it was renaissance for me because I was very focused. I started learning anatomy. My art improved so much in that year that I've focused on my portfolio. I sort of found out about this Lithuanian company. First of all, I got so many rejections or silence.
I think everyone gets silence or rejections.
Yeah.
I think something you should be prepared to have.
Autumn Hawk was nice enough to send me a rejection letter, by the way. And it broke my heart because for some reason, I was really sure that my portfolio was like
good enough.
Okay. But now that I look at it, like, girl,
maybe they weren't looking. I don't know. Yeah, I think there can only be two problems. Three problems.
Yeah.
If you send in something and they reject you, 3 problems. One is you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So you have to go back, fix that problem, work on your art skills, whatever. Second problem is your portfolio was really shitty, as in it was hard to navigate, it was inaccessible, maybe all of it was like completely broken and they couldn't like see it.
Yeah.
The third problem is maybe they weren't looking for someone. Maybe they didn't have space, there at the time.
And
I don't know.
it's very common and it's discouraging for people to think that my skills are not good enough. Sometimes they're not looking for artists. And some companies do, as you said, they remember you. You know, when they have space, maybe they will contact you.
Right.
Or
I got a company reach out to me and they were like, do you want to work here now? And
Yeah.
they previously rejected me. It was because they couldn't like employ a part-timer because I was
Yeah.
still in uni. And I was like, okay, well, and I just went to another company. And then I finished my uni and they were like, do you still want to work here? And I'm like, nope.
yeah.
I have better things now. Sorry.
That's it. So don't take the rejection personally. Maybe you do need to improve and stuff, but the thing is that you never know what the reason is. And maybe one company thinks your art is not good enough, but the other one is going to be, yeah, it's fine. But when it comes to just style, it's just that right now I'm, if you Google whatever Spire of Sorcery game, you'll just see
Liking that
it's not
content.
even done yet. Please add to wishlist on Steam store.
Please do.
Please. Anyways, the point is that just for comparison, stuff I do right now is more sort of line art plus rendering kind of thing. It's more on the lines. Then it's like more of a rendered style that I had in my portfolio. So,
Okay.
but in my portfolio, I had inking. For our game, they weren't sure about the style in the first place. So when you're hired to create a style for a game as well, just having a nice looking artwork, doesn't matter the style, is gonna work. So in my case, they weren't sure about the art style. That's why they found a good artist and they hired me. And I had a variety of inking and painting that attracted them. That means I'm flexible, and sketching as well. There's this company who makes games for very little girls, and their style, they have this bootleg style of like ripping off Pixar, Disney, having rendered characters basically. And they're like, and my portfolio is like macabre, sort of a bit creepy.
Yeah.
But they were about to hire me and they said that we like that your rendering is very good. So it doesn't matter, like
fundamentals again,
like my the stuff I drew didn't fit them at all, but my rendering was so good. They were like, yeah, if I would like that job, I would just draw different things but with the same quality. And I know people who work at a similar company who didn't draw childish stuff at all, but they were great artists, they had great rendering, and they got the job.
Someone in our company who was an art lead, what they draw for themselves personally is like completely different from what we do at work, and how they draw at work. It again falls on the fundamentals part, but I think it's really interesting when a person has like a theme or topic that they love so much, when they like sit down and they can relax drawing it. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, but this is a thing where you have to search the work that would feed that need. If you love drawing dinosaurs and suddenly there's an opening, a position for an artist who wants to draw dinosaurs, perfect connection.
That's true. And if you draw dinosaurs good enough, on ArtStation, if you post that, someone who is working on a project which is not released yet, they will contact you and they will be like, you're perfect for us,
Yeah.
That's how the better artists are like scooped up, basically, is they don't really send in to specific companies. They get hired by them because of something that they do personally, what they love.
Draw what you like, most importantly. Don't draw for the company, because think about it, you'll have to draw the stuff all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And there will be a company that will suit your niche. I guarantee you.
I mean, to a point, yes.
I will. There are some niche companies that would contact me to draw like those weird cell-shaded erotic illustrations, and they somehow they found me, and I don't draw this stuff, but still they reached out to me. And
I guess there is a thing for everyone, a market for everyone.
Whoever searches, they will find.
Usually when you draw for yourself, I think it looks better at the end.
Definitely.
Like the result is better.
Definitely. And this is where your heart is. This is where you should be aiming at in the first place. find out what you love to draw and draw it, and then companies will see that and they would like to hire you. Our company, we're chasing a few artists as well, by the way.
Chasing.
Well, we tried to get them in, but we
Okay.
didn't. We couldn't. But this happens. That's the thing. If you're great, just be a good person and do great art, and then the companies are gonna be glued to you like magnets. Hi, this is Rita from the future. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of our portfolio mini-series. When we recorded this episode, we realized that we had so much to say on this topic. As I was editing, we decided to make it a two-parter. Yay! So keep your eyes and your ears peeled for part 2 of the portfolio series. Thanks again for listening, and I see you next time. Bye!